Hi guys, welcome back to the back nine of Hitachi Seaside Park Disc Golf Course. The front nine was somewhat in an open field, but the back nine is fully in the woods and gets a bit difficult. So let's go see how I did in back nine. Hole 10, par 3, 230 feet. The basket is somewhat tucked in the woods, so you want to keep your shot relatively low. First is Innova Wombat 3. It's a neutral disc similar to Mako 3, and this shot was great. Next is a forehand with Prodigy F4. I couldn't really commit to the height and it just cut roll in the ground. And then the last was Prodigy M1. So this ended up slipping from my hand and went low as well. Wasn't really a good shot. So here are where M4 and M1 landed, still quite far from the basket. But Wombat was absolutely parked and got a tap-in birdie. Hole 11, par 3, 141 feet. This hole is similar to hole 10, but much shorter and the ceiling is much lower. First, going with Prodigy M1. Oh, if that was a bit lower, it would be a great shot. Next, going with PA1 forehand. I was hoping to have a late dump to the right. It went through all the cabbages, but didn't have the late turn and hit the tree. Third is PA2. It looks good, but got a kick from the late tree. I thought this was a bad kick, but it turned out to be okay. Yeah, it's quite lucky. It was an easy putt. Now let's go to hole 12. Hole 12, par 3, 115 feet. This has a good hyzer line, so I'm going with a hyzer shot. And there is a bush behind the basket, so you want to avoid going too long left. And it looks good, yeah. Maybe a bit long. Maybe a bit short. So somewhere near the basket, but mostly it ended up going behind the bushes. So later I found that there was a rope surrounding the basket. Maybe the radius was about 10 feet. So it's a very small island, and that makes this hole very hard. Hole 13, par 3, 138 feet. This is a downhill with OB right, but that OB doesn't come into play. The center of the fairway is very well guarded with trees. First is Innova Wombat 3, going straight route and trying to pass through all the trees. But as always, it hit the tree. And the next shot is PA1. Again, I went with straight but a bit lower line. I don't know why I didn't try a hyzer line here. Looking back now, it seems that is easier. This is PA3, backhand and hyzer shot. And this also caught by a tree. Final shot with Prodigy M4, I guess. I guess that is the lie from M4 with a forehand. And that was a wobbly shot, wobbly putt. Hole 14, par 3, 144 feet. It's a slight uphill shot. The basket lies on the top of plateau, so you don't have to worry about rolling down a wave. That's probably PA4. It went a bit left deep. And this was mid-range M2. I went with the flat forehand, and oh man, this was the shot I was thinking of. Some extra practice shot with PA3. Oh, that wasn't good. Throwing a low Anheuser shot is the most challenging shot even until now. Putting from M2, and here we go, birdie. That's good. Hole 15, par 3, 148 feet. Next, we have a downhill hole. This is also pretty covered with woods. And sorry, I had to change the camera angle because of my stance. First up, PA2. I wanted to go to the wider gap in the center, but it went through the right gap and went back long. Second shot with PA3. And that's a painful sound. Oh, I don't like that sound. The third shot was PA1. I hit the gap as I intended, but it was a little bit high. Here I am putting from PA3, probably around 25 feet. I couldn't capitalize it. Okay, let's move on to hole 16. Hole 16, par 3, 151 feet. I suppose it is within circle 1 of hole 15, you can see on the left side. First, going with PA1. A bit too Anheuser release, and that made it turn to the right. And also got a jump from a tree, and it doesn't seem in a good spot. PA2. Next up is PA3. I was thinking to go for a straight shot, but that was a not enough hyzer, so which made it a disc to turn over a bit. But actually, it wasn't a bad shot. It's in a circle 1. It's in a circle 1, and it's makeable. But the bad one was my putting skill. Oh. Hole 17, par 3, 131 feet. The basket is on the top of small hill. Left side of the hill is quite steep and will roll down in the worst case to OB. I guess that was a PA1 with flat shot going to the center gap, and I think it's a pretty good spot. Next up, M1 with forehand, and I chose left side since it has a wider gap, so it's easier to access to the basket. But the branches were so low that it makes almost impossible to reach the basket. PA2, I'm trying to imitate the first shot, but it was a bit too high and caught by a tree. Yeah, that's the tricky part of going to the center line. Last, overstable approach disc, M1. This was exactly what I wanted. That gap is a bit wider than the center gap. I feel this is more reliable line to hit. And yes, it was parked. That was close. Hole 18, par 3, 161 feet. The final hole is a downslope. So this hole looks easy, but trust me, it's hard. I somehow hit the same two trees every single time, and doesn't seem to have a good shot here. I don't know why, but it looks so simple, but yet still so hard. If I have another chance, then I might go like a very low shot and then have a ground play and skip to the basket And since no one was around, I tried multiple times and every shot didn't feel right. So some discs ended up here, and I forgot to film the putting footage. I was so tired at this point. But you get the idea. I get the part. So that's all for the permanent 18 holes of Hitachi Seaside Park Disc Golf Course. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and thank you for watching till the end of the video, and see you guys in the next video.